lately. And for this one, she's been going back, looking back in time. Now, Tiwa is a woman. And now she speaks about how back in the days, performing due to she was prevented from performing in Nigeria due to indecent dressing. Are you surprised?
No, but I don't know. So I mean, I think that's a truth. First of all, I don't want to say, oh, when did that possibly happen? But indecent dressing, I don't know if because if she was paid to come and perform somewhere and then she got to the venue and they say, oh, you're not properly dressed, you cannot perform. I mean, who's lost, you know? But when you say indecent dressing, I don't know how bad it could have been
Yeah.
before they will now say you cannot. But also we need to put into consideration that um there are some places that you might be invited to come and perform where you cannot dress in any funny way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, they cannot call you to come and perform at a government gathering where you have dignitaries and all of that, and then you now wear something entirely inappropriate, and you think that you will be allowed to climb the stage. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The same thing applies. You cannot dress funnily where you have children, a lot of kids. Do you understand? Or maybe at a children party or something. But it really, really depends. But for a lot of the event that they have late in midnight, all those comedy and the other musical concerts that they do at night at a hotel and all these other places, I don't think anybody will say, "Oh, you cannot come on stage if you don't dress." I mean, what exactly were you wearing that they had to stop you from, and where and when did it happen? So I don't know. The tour that we have today still dresses funny. So who's stopping you? Where is it in Nigeria? I mean, from the story, it's supposed to be Nigeria.
Yeah.
But
Back in the days.
I don't know. I think I would want more context or clarity
But
to the
of
story.
course, she also, in the course of the week, she had cause to also give some encouragement to someone who looks up to her, talking about Ira Star, saying
Yeah.
that those clothes could even get even shorter and more skimpier. That's, you see, the kind of, so saying
Yeah. I mean,
she could press her neck more and her eyes.
absolutely. I mean, but still, we still know that even for Arasta, I know that people, I've seen a lot of times where people have trolled her on social media for how she had dressed and everything. But to each their own,
Yeah.
I'll still maintain that it depends on the event, it depends on the gathering. You have to, even with other professionals or other entertainers, comedians, and so on, there are, the type of jokes you want to go and share at certain places. Do you understand? So, but I mean, everywhere you have to just apply decorum, regardless of who you are as a person.
This leads us to what it's been exactly some 4 days ago now since it was Children's Day celebrated in Nigeria. Looking back at our childhood, Jim Silas,
Yeah.
any fond memory about your childhood?
Ah, ukpa, ukpa. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. From playing in the rain. Um, in fact, one of the fun, I don't know if I'll call it fun right now, but I know that one time I went to my hometown and saw the kids as a child, saw the kids running down the hill to go because we have this what's it called? Spring water where the water comes out from the rock and stuff. So
You
people
might
go
just
there.
be sending some persons to visit your hometown,
Bruh.
so give them a shout. So what's the
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's in Umar here,
okay?
Ibeku. So there's somewhere it's called EIYI, I think. So yeah, so that's where it was at the time. And the kids will go down the hill. Grrr. So me, Lagos innocent guy, I just saw them running down, I followed them. Bro, only God said
For
I'll
the
still be
time,
alive till now,
yeah.
because when you hear that story about Jack and Jill went up the hill and came tumbling after. Yeah, that was exactly what happened to me. And well, thank God that there was just this tiny branch that just helped me eventually. Yeah, but the scar is still right there on my ankle.
Your chi said no. That's what it is.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
let's link this up now to what Nigerian celebrities were up to in the course of the week, where they had to do a remix or probably a sample of Michael Jackson's "We Are the World." How did this come to you? And did he hit the notes properly?
Oh, I mean,
Will Michael smile back at them or give them a frown like,
now come
this
on.
is my song?
I'm sure he'll be proud of them. I mean,
Okay.
because we have talented artists, they can really sing. And I thought it was really cool, even though somewhere in my head I was saying, oh, maybe they probably would have, you know, composed a song for it, a new song or something different, but it's okay. That's an iconic song. That's that's something that everybody can or should be able to connect with or relate to. And yes, I thought they did a very good job. I loved it.
And CDP, the cast of the persons they brought onto this, you would be so amazed anyway. Actors in Yola, Diolu, veteran, you have Keiten Shaw, Toke Makinwa, Korede Bello, Waje. I wouldn't be surprised to see Waje there anyway, but for the others, I would say, well.
I was actually surprised to see Toke,
Yeah.
but you know how it is. And the way the song, sometimes we cannot even catch who's actually saying what.
Yes.
Do you understand? But what's important is that the collage of celebrities that they brought together, it was just beautiful to see all of them come together to make music or to sing together, So we don't care who was singing the tenor or who was singing the bad or whatever, but as long as it sounded nice, so we're happy with that.
We can really make the world a better place for our children. And
Absolutely.
just the memories we see today that we know we grew up with. Like I shared somewhere along the week, in the course of the week, I was telling someone that 27th of May was when children look forward to going for match past at the stadium. You have your stockings all drawn up to your knees, hand gloves, white, and you're looking for eyes, right? And all of those things that come with it. That memory, no, it can never go away. It's something that would etch till the gray days. But let's go over now to a man who usually would talk every other time, is the area father himself. Well, it's been speaking to someone who apparently is much older than himself. And this is where you begin to say, is there a draw? Is there a thin line between, or a demarcation between politics and entertainment? How do entertainers really cross this line without knowing? Because we understand Charlie Boy Oputa is simply facing some backlash now over his comments regarding Africa's first Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka.
I mean, so I think, clearly that's Charlie Boy's reaction came from the interview that Professor Wole Soyinka did with, what's the guy's name? And that went viral, where he was talking about, I think one of the part of that interview that the media, the social media, should I say, highlighted was the part where Professor talked about, why he doesn't think that what's his name? Peter Obi of Labour Party should run for office because of the people or his followers or the members of his party, which I'm sure was clearly referring to the guys on social media again. And Charlie Boy, of course, who is probably a supporter, who was not pleased by the statement, just went ballistic on, his feelings. And talking about that divide or where that bridge where politics and entertainment meet, I mean, that relationship has been there for a very long time, and it's not unique to Nigeria, it's everywhere. Okay. And what has come, or what we've come to see, is that it's been a very toxic relationship. You understand? But let's even leave it, or in terms of the disparity, let's bring it to the table of just common sense. Professor said what he felt, and sometimes, I mean, even where he's an older person or as great as he is, I still believe that there are some questions that we really, really don't need to answer directly. I just always believe that, because some people, whether you like it or not, will just not agree. In fact, most people might not even agree with you. Office, when it comes to running for office, it's a question of choice. If you are eligible, if you meet all the criteria, surrounding that particular office or whatever, yes, you can run for it. And I don't think whether popular or anybody's opinion should stop you from running for it. But one of the things that we've seen over time has been that people feel like a certain candidate and his followers and on their followers are not in their right senses. They just have an opinion about certain people, and that's one of the problems we have with, well, maybe not a problem, but it's what it is when it comes to politics or elections and whatever office that people are running for. opposing parties will always have their opinions about the other parties. So yes, Charlie Boy.
Should he have gone so really?
I feel like he went too deep. I feel like he went personal. I feel like it's somewhat disrespectful from the moral perspective. I mean, as I am here right now talking, I don't think I want to, no matter what the situation is, want to go on and be talking a lot of, I don't want to say nonsense, but just go all out and talk about how much I'm displeased about what Charlie Boy has done, and then to as far as calling names, and do you understand? I will not want to be disrespectful in terms of this guy is older than me. I want to be respectful to the fact that this guy, how many years? I mean, he's old, and I also expect that should be accorded to anybody who's. I mean, sometimes even with parents or older people around you, they can say certain things or do certain things that you might not like as a younger person, and you just look at them like it's because of your age. I just leave you, and that's something that I just expect. I mean, this is still Nigeria. This is still Africa. We're not raised to be disrespectful or just throw words at our elders, no matter how how nonsense we think that they've acted or whatever they would have said. So I just feel like there's a way you can actually criticize or critique somebody or counter somebody's opinion without being disrespectful in any way.
And if you're wondering, that's James Silas.
Yeah.
And he just wants to I hope he made common sense to you. All he said this morning. Because
I'm just saying,
he's not the senator in question relating to the common sense, but I hope he made common sense to you this morning with that. Well, you're still on to the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1 FM, expecting to read more messages when you send them in on 0809 4440981. You can also catch this ongoing conversation on youtube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos. Let's throw in a message before we go on the other side now. Theo from Ojo says, it's high time these celebrities understand they are role models and the younger generations take after their actions. It is just like promoting sexuality is their only unique selling proposition. Let them please rethink this. And I guess that's a reaction to
Tiwa Savage.
Tiwa Savage's skimpy dressing. Yeah. And of course, it's already seeming too late because we have an IRA star already saying you can make it even shorter and add pressure to it. Well, let's get back. Jim Silas is still here. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa.
Abiola, what's up? Akonde, Adini Gafar, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. PI, I saw your comment earlier.
Let's see after. Let's see. I don't know what happened. The sound is corrupted. It's reading zeros. That means something happened.
Still not playing. That means it's not.
Stop. Yes, it's all on zero. So that's why I went to the next one. And listeners are used to that. So even for it's something that. Let me try if I can find Femi Kuti. That is bang 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 now. That's our sound.
Wait, me. Is it or no?
No, it's I see cars blah 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 blah, and that's not it. And that song is about 8 minutes. What can I nice to know? What can I do? Let me say Mateo. Well, am I getting it? It's not coming.
Not coming.
No. Oh Lord, you.
Correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrots, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans. Season your jollof with the rich taste of your food.
Let me try something.
Your vegetables. So, go ahead.
Let me try something.
Today.
No.
Still working.
Zeros. So, let's make the world cut.
Toby, long time. How far?
We're smooth 98.1 FM. Let's get back into the conversation. It's still the Grapevine and James Silas.
Yeah.
Right? You might be getting to replace some speakers out there later today.
No, that wasn't loud.
Okay. So let's drift away now to other matters. And what you mentioned that she would have a way to surface in this conversation in her own, right, and bragging on at that. So from being a big girl to being a bloody Samaritan and all of that, and just turning 21 and getting an album out, she's just fresh from Brazil. She's just crisscrossing the continent of the world right now. From Brazil, she's in Europe as we speak right now, and she's dazzling fans and audience out there with the upcoming album. So are you saying is Ira Star really ticking all of the boxes with the publicity she's given to this new album?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, it started, as far as I'm concerned, the publicity started heavy right after the whole Wizkid, Ladipo, that caught Davido in the crossfire. Well, not the crossfire. It seemed like indirect targets at somebody. I mean, it was just the guy was spraying the bullets and it was hitting everywhere. So yeah, so aside from that, then Don Jazzy's reaction to the whole influencer thing was to announce or press on Arastar's new album. And I feel like absolutely they've been doing a good job, at it with right now when it comes to even releasing music or any body of can be single album, whatever, the distribution companies or the platforms where these things are going on are beginning to push major international weights on our projects. So, for artists from Nigeria, because yes, to a great extent, we are on the spotlight when it comes to music around the world right now. So yes, they are putting in all the measures, stuff that they do for other international artists where they actually emanate from is beginning to be, shared and, sort of practiced or pushed around our own artists as well. So yes, I'm not surprised that she's trying. I mean, it's not even the first time. These sometimes the ones that have been done are not publicized as much. But yes, this time around, because the project is, they are really, really shedding light on the fact that she's pushing her weight all around the world right now.
It seems the year she turned 21 will be a remarkable one. And not everyone can really say the year they turned 21 was a remarkable one. But for Ira Star, it looks like this year, on the back of being nominated for a Grammy, moving on, see the impact. I'm looking at the star cast we're expecting in this album. Don Jazzy, Coco Jones, and Ashake. Even the younger brother is becoming a family business now.
I mean, I'm not surprised. There's also the one with what's the guy's name? Sheyi Vibes. Yes, do you understand? So I personally am a fan of Ira Star's music. Do you understand? So I'm down for this. I'm waiting for it. I'll love it. I'm sure.
All right, so we just can wish her all the very best.
Absolutely.
And hoping that she just keeps the heat on everyone else as it goes. And I don't know why, if these two can pass as sisters very well, and even if they go for a movie, I'm talking about Tyler, the woman who makes Water Rush in South Africa.
Yeah.
There's this semblance that just comes across, and they're cool, they're friends.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure about
the physique is also something. I don't know how that happened.
Yes, I'm not sure about Tyler's age, but if it feels like they are on the same grade, the same age, they're like they're mates. Do you understand? I feel like they went to the same secondary school. They are cool together. They look alike, not look alike like that, but the physique. Yes, I think the physique. Yeah, you cannot mistake them. I mean, say, okay, look at this one's back. This might be this. No. But even at that, I think what's her name? Ira might be taller, but yes, they are they're supposed to look like the girl next door. They are just your kid sister.
Those high school movie kind of girlish
Like teenagers,
Yeah.
they are just, I agree. I understand.
And Ira Star also got a backlash recently too, as she's in France, where someone posted that she releases a song almost like every other month now, there about every other week, and she had to reply in French, and then Nigerian week they came. So if we wrote in Yoruba, would you have replied now? She got a backlash recently.
No, but don't mind. I'm social media. Anybody, even if that was supposed to be cool, anybody would just look at it and say, okay, wait, why did she do this? And just look for something negative to respond to. But hey, it's still part of the attention that they want, and that will help give her the popularity that she needs for this album.
James, let's go on and get in a few messages. All right. Where would we come to? Okay, Ali, the sounds you're familiar with will be back hopefully by next week. So just bear with this one. Okay, thank you so much. We know you observed that. We understand. But then it goes on to Ira and Tyler will make a good girl group. That's what. So
I mean,
Yeah. Then I find Tayo's message waiting already. I'm here for Grapevine only reimagined like the national anthem. And see, I saw what he did there. And standing tall like Silas, who fell from AE Spring, right?
It's not the AE Spring, it's the EII. It's not E.
Okay.
It's I, but yes, you're right.
Did I hear Omas hinting at Ira buying full material? Waiting, I sabi. Let me sit well by the grapevine for the gist. That's what he has to say. And then it goes on. Tiwa is not just a woman, she's a woman with glasses. Therefore, we can see things well now. If Rihanna remembers she's now a mom, it will reach everybody. Understanding comes at some point in life, right? Because Rihanna, we can completely link that one up to what Rihanna said.
To what she said about
that she popped things someplace and now like she can't do that any longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe one day, because Tiwa too is a mom,
Yes. I will join issues with Charlie Boy on this e-bike driving against traffic in Lagos. Old age exposes our frailty. That's whole Tayo has to say. But let's go on now. They say like father, like son. And they say when a man begins to walk, like follows his father's footstep, he begins to walk and stagger like the father, maybe with one leg up, even when you do reggae. But we hear Bob Marley's grandson is teasing with a new remix with who else but the African giant who's fresh from Tralabam, and he goes to do reggae. What's your take on this one?
No, I mean, like do we say and then he goes to do reggae? I mean, his sound has actually.
Well, it looks for me that you go this way, then you put one leg up.
His sound has actually, revolved around that whole Afrobeat, Fela's Afrobeat.
Yeah.
And dancehall reggae too. So I'm not surprised about this. And it's I think it should be interesting. I can't wait to hear what it to sound like really. Personally, I didn't like the remix he did with what's their name? The Twala. I just thought that it was a waste of remix. It was a late remix. It was unnecessary and
overflogged remix. That's what
I'm saying. It just wasn't supposed to even happen at all. But then I did. I mean, it's funny that sometimes. I think one of the things that has happened with even when it comes to Burna Boy is, not in all cases, but you see, there are some songs that just go continental, and he just sort of finds a way. I don't know how they find him, or he finds a way to be on them. Jerusalem was already a big major. It was a hit. It was a done song, and then boom, we hear there was a remix with.
Then he made it bigger.
I don't know about that. It was a big song already.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. I mean, the same thing applies to them. But talking about the Marleys now, you remember that one of them, Steve, has a song with Wizkid as well, and now we have Burna with another I think the grandson, right?
YG Marley.
So it'll be interesting. I would like to hear what it sound like. And are we going to hear another Marley with Davido? Because it's even like
attraction to Nigeria,
so that kind of thing. But just saying, but yeah, I think Burna Boy makes good music, and I think that it really sound nice. But I don't know how cool it to be, how accepted it to be back here. Let's just say.
Incidentally, I was listening to the song yesterday. That's Shwalabam remix, and that verse for Burna Boy, the 1947 stuff. It wasn't until yesterday I understood what since 1947 was about, but that's a different kettle of fish if you want to know what the 1947.
There's also the part where he said, one day in Talawa,
Okay.
And that thing sounds like something I've heard on social media where there's somebody else said it entirely,
Yeah.
and then he goes and fixes it. You know, so imagine if that guy.
Nas Boy also fell into his pickup lines where he said King Solomon, and then there was also
There's
something.
also that part there too. You
Yeah.
know, so you're
Watch
you're
it.
lucky that it wasn't blackface that said it first. You guys will be in trouble for using those
Yeah.
lines.
Okay, let's reach out to see what they say criticism is always, you must get a thick skin for it, else you might not be able to move forward. But actor Uzo Arukwe says actors need to learn how to accept it, because would it make them better?
Supposed to, but criticism is not something that anybody. I think it's human nature to frown at criticism. No, but people don't really, even as kids, when your parents scold you in certain ways, you actually not. You just go gloomy and sad that you were criticized, but in their own way knocked for doing something wrong. But criticism also make it better. And because if you look at it, that's even with kids, or even where we are today in life, you realize that a lot of the actions that we were taking, or that we took when as children, or as when we're growing up, were things that still shaped us, both from home, school, and even the society generally. So yes, criticism is good. And coming from this guy, what's his name again? Arukwe.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is actually one of my favorite actors. I think he's really, really funny. Not necessarily as a serious actor, which is Uzo himself, but for some of these short film or short skits I've seen him in, I think, especially the ones he does with what's her name? Bimbo Ademoye, yeah. On that I see on YouTube. I think that he's one of the most hilarious, funny actors that I've seen, and I think he's a cool guy too. So yes, generally, I'm sure this is not something that's. I mean, it's not a revelation of some sort, but yes, criticism helps you do better, especially if you understand the perspective. Constructive ones like that. Some people just throw words just to social media. Sometimes they just throw words to hurt you as a content creator, or as an actor, or as a talented person. But you should be able to understand where somebody is telling you what is the truth and where somebody is insulting you, basically.
So again, taking criticism again is one issue, especially when you have to come back home and then your spouse looks at a clip and say, honey, I don't really think that this clip I saw now was just edited. That was a real kiss. And did she really take off all her clothes? I thought I was the only one who should go all birthday suit for you. But this links us to what Zach Orji has been explaining, what that scene cost him back in the days for that Glamour Girls scene in the bathtub with once bad girl back in the days, Eukarya Anunobi.
Yeah, I mean, with time we've come to understand that acting is acting, whether you like it or not. Once you take up that mantle to say you want to become an actor, one day the script will show you things that you've not seen before, or make you do things that you've never seen before. And then there are some actors that are willing to go all the way out to do what they need to do. For some people, they'll get a body double to play those parts. For the male and female actors, they'll clearly take body doubles that will come and play that role all through. But in this case, I think from what I saw at the time, it was actually them playing those roles. And that was also the time where
the bathtub scene.
Yeah, that's bathtub. So and that was the time where Nollywood was actually beginning to
And they did to do that. And it wasn't like, remember.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So but I'm sure there were some precautionary measures taken there. Not everything was actually as clear as it looked. But yes, no matter how it even looked, I'm sure your significant other will look at it and say, bro, what exactly is going on here? What, you don't tell me you're acting? What kind of acting is that? They'll tell you all the things.
It takes us to standard. If a woman had done that,
what are you saying? The woman was there. There was a woman there, no?
No, I mean, if the wife, if
the career was single at the time, even if she just had a boyfriend, she was she also played the part. Do you understand? So it's a two-way thing. But what really it's acting, they need to understand that this wasn't Zach Orji in the bathtub. This was his name or the character in the bathtub. So all
right, let's sum up with the messages now. I see Abbas's message here. It says, same Charlie boy who went nude for photos and even exhibited some silly behaviors. some points at his age is this one denigrating the person of Wole Soyinka. Come on. And then I find Ibuku's thought here for us. He says, I think we give Prof too much credit and reverence. Is a Nobel Prize winner for literature, not an all-knowing person. If it was not Wole Soyinka, we would not even have listened to what he said. His statement made no sense because the followers of other parties also said many things and were vocal online. He has given a voice and a platform, but respect is reciprocal.
True.
As for Tiwa Savage and Ira, if your voice is good, you don't need nudity. Anita Baker didn't expose her body. Ibuku from Ketu.
Nice one, Ibuku.
My
man, Xavier from Bagada, my Adubo guy.
All right, it goes on. Tyler is 22. She said it when she was receiving a Grammy Award.
Nice, cool.
There is actually an uncanny resemblance with Ira Star. Burna should actually go into reggaeton and Caribbean sound with an infusion of Afrobeat. He has already carved a niche for himself. So it will still sell out album or concert.
True.
And that's how we sum it up this morning.
Absolutely.
We had fun.
We had fun. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very much. It's James Silas. You can catch me on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can catch me on Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook. I'm actually everywhere on social media. If you send me a message, tell me you're from the Grapevine. I always holler back. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support for all these years. Bye.